The children crying for starvation, just don't just spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, don't just spoon. You want to know what is happening.
Because NJMB, no rescue. Number one feeling, getting pushed with feeling. Number one.
Madame Aslamalo, Ainike, Ainura, Ainitele. Ainike, vote for Lomana. Ebra Ilaja. Kona aya jo nyafe kalmadia fana. Vote ma ban follow. Aya jo, aya ke alaye. Aya jamala bo. Aya denlu, aya mamalu. Bembalu, anfalu. Aya mademe. Tanye kemobala si. Kemoba gwerete. Kemoba me. Jose nyuma boakai. Aya jo. Novembre 14, vote gweranato. Anya madiala. Alere nyala anyu wati mindotinya. Laptani nyuma tiyen. Eba wadamuni nyere matiyen. Foye. Ale jamba judi landeli mandeli ye fala. Aya jo aya kiala ya nyal madiala. Anye bo kamo nyuma la si jamana kono. Jamana si la president nyuma alba ni presidenti en jamana ti fenkela aya jo anya madiala. Follow man ke mo batre numéro dele. Kono lerme na numéro follow. A premier. Iba papier alba papier di me ba doin. Ikana wa mo flagini kana mo sabanyini mo follow man mi papier ka ya bilaye. Ke mo ba ni kamberendo le sini. Ikana bila mu ke mi ni muso sini no alu mo flale ke mo fla ijo ya bila wonye. Don nya fe ka mi falnye fana. Ai kana la cardante fere mo foima. Cardante jara kani cardante le. Te tuanu yere la yine kala anye voyager la anye wala kana. E babila sela kalom na cardante bola al ditoro bise doli la cardante fere la wodi kola. Vote baba iti la cardante masorana. Donc ayajo. Mo kani la cardante fere mo foina.
Agriculture, no time for discussion. Rescue tree.
Yes. Thank you. I'm Sylvester Chirople, and I work for the Spoon Network. I'm concerned about the Ghanaian national who was recently arrested by you, that is the Joint Security, and he has been reported that he is a higher UP artist specialist. A UP has been complaining that up to date, it doesn't know exactly why he was arrested, and you saying that he's going on an investigation. I understand that before someone goes on an investigation, there might be a cause. So would you tell the public exactly why is it that the Ghanaian national is going to investigation? That's one. Of recent, a radio personality from Fuda FM made some allegations at the AFL that the chief of staff was removing some officers at the AFL. Up to now, we don't know exactly what is the conclusion of that incident or situation. So perhaps if the Joint Security, specifically if the chief of staff, can tell the public where are we now in terms of that.
Thank you so much. So the chief of staff will speak to that in the minister.
Well, I will just refer you to the C radio station. I'm sure you came back and retracted it. What more do you want me to say?
Thank you, Minister.
Well, we have said when one comes to the country to undertake a tax.
Liberians, enough is enough. It's time to end the suffering, corruption, lack of jobs, no healthcare, no food, and businesses are dying. On November 14th, choose integrity and a brighter tomorrow for Liberia. Cast your vote for Joseph N. Boakai and Jeremiah K. Kung, number 1 on the ballot. Be the champions of democracy. Stay at your polling stations after voting until every ballot is counted. It's not just your right, but your duty. Even JNB himself will be at his polling station, ensuring our voices are heard. Vote for Joseph Nyuma Boakai and Jeremiah Pankung because your future depends on it. Thank you, my fellow Liberians. Together, we'll shape our nation's destiny.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, Stan Turner with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information.
salvation just turned to spoon.
Oh yes, most definitely. If the children crying for starvation, from starvation, just turn to spoon. This is where you get authentic information. All of the happenings about our country, we get to dish them out right here. That is why we say we're dishing out Liberia's very best. I'd like to say welcome again. Thanks for joining us. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. This is where we come with diverse views and express ourselves on those different issues of national concerns. Um, and regardless of the political background, everyone get to have a space right here. I'd like to say welcome to the program. My name is Nelson Colette. We are live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We are live on Super 95.5 FM as well. And thanks to Gibi FM 90.9, that's always relaying this program, and other radio stations. We will appreciate that whenever you do the relays, you get to notify us, so we give you the credits that you deserve. And so I want to say welcome again to you tonight. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we're gonna have a great show. We have we introduced quite recently a segment of the program that's been running for some time now. So the first segment, the first 1 hour of the show, we have our folks here who get to come on and give us some pieces of information with respect to the Unity Party manifesto, the arrest pillars, and they've been here. They've been talking about different components of the pillars, of the pillar, in fact. So they took off by talking about macroeconomic stability, and infrastructure. They also took up time to talk about the aspect that has to do with health, sanitation, and all of that. They talk about human development, human capacity development. There's another component that has to do with good governance. They threw so much light on that as well. And the last edition of the show, they were highlighting pillow, the fifth component under that pillow that has to do with gender, youth, children, and social protection. They elaborated on that sufficiently, and so tonight we're gonna have a conversation around the final component of the pillow, which is at number 6, and it has to do with anti-corruption. Anti-corruption. All right, so that is what they are going to highlight, I'll talk about here tonight on the show. At the end of this segment, we're going to afford you the time to ask them questions. We're starting late, so this segment is going to run up to 2:30, up to 3:30 thereabout. So you're going to have time to ask them some questions, and then the final, right after that, we'll transition to the final segment where we're going to have an open panel. Folks from the different political sides will be able to come on and talk about what those issues are. We have a very important conversation coming up as well on that. So I want to say welcome again to the program. I'm Nelson Colette. Let me go across now to bring in my co-moderator, Moba Zoka. Moba, thanks for joining the show tonight. It's good to have you on. Are you muted or what? Am I making a mistake? Or am I the one who's muted? Moba, are you with us? But I'm hearing you. Moba, something is not okay. Something is not right here. Maybe you should try to log in again. Let me get you out of studio, then you can try to log in. Something is not okay here. I think I'm okay. My audio is okay, but there seems to be an issue with Mobat's connection. So I'm hopeful that he can do the needful and then he be able to come on. Yes, so we're gonna have a great show tonight. I see studio is already getting crowded, and the conversation is about to start. Listen, as you join us tonight, I want you to pick your notepad, grab your notepad, take your pen and papers, jot down some points. During the call-in segment, ask these panelists some very hard questions here. You know? And first of all, let me say, share the program as you come on. Please share the show on your different social media platforms so we can have a great conversation here tonight. Share the program. Let's have a great show. I'm going to move in now to bring in our guys. I see Ami is already here. Let me bring Ami in. Ami, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Okay. Is that the rescue greetings? Because all the rescue people in that one thing all they dealing with now. I don't know why. Let me bring in Moba Zokia.
You can hear me now?
Before the men say I put in the background. I can hear you, Moba. You okay now?
My sister Ami.
The men say, General guys.
General guys.
General guys is finally on. Moba, you always engage something on the show.
Remember at home I drink or how you call it in my orange juice always.
But I own an orange juice looking clean, and that's all that orange juice.
Yeah,
looking clean.
I told you I don't
let me take small step. That orange juice. Anyway, Francis, let me welcome you to the show, man. Francis, thank you for joining in.
Thank you. Francis, you saw my message in the group chat, right? I put a message in the group chat. I don't know. Anyway, we'll discuss it after the show.
Okay.
Francis, thank you for being the first person on here. No, guys, let's mute. I'm getting a feedback. If you have any gadget you listen to,
no, I mean,
I think that's Ami. Ami got a PTV.
Amy always watching TV
right on the wall. Then with the TV volume a bit loud.
She can be watching a spoon thought that she tell us.
Yeah. No, Ami can be watching. She can be watching the show on the TV. Oh gosh, yeah. But
she looking.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Don't listen to them.
Francis, I must say thank you, man. Imagine, I created the show about what? About 2 hours ago, or a little over an hour ago.
Where?
As soon as I created the show, I shared the link. Francis was the first person to jump in, man. I saw Francis in the background while the Spoon Talk was still on. And then when I looked in the background, I saw Francis. I said, wow, Francis is here.
I was funny. I sleep on my couch now.
Come again?
I thought about to get it out of the way so I can go to bed. I'm like, damn, that's about to keep us up until 2 o'clock in the morning.
So you prepared the couch already to sleep on it?
Oh, man, I got a couch in my studio.
The man created little studio in the basement, but it's good to have you, man. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being so patient in the background. I saw Charisma in the background. I only seen her chair there, but she's not there. Charisma, I hope you go love her Sonny and instantly carry you.
You're completely she won't sleep.
From today.
It's 2:27 a.m. here in Liberia, so imagine that. Let me bring Officer Hands on. I don't want to be held in contempt. What? You want to keep the officer in the background?
My man, I way on the other side of the world, I sleeping and just
I probably made on sleeping. Imagine that. Who else saw the officer sleeping on set? Who else saw the officer sleeping on set?
You catch it, man, catch you buka.
No.
And I'm going to get buka.
My man, I beg you.
I don't eat burger.
Officer Hands, were you sleeping on set?
No. I was concentrating, man. I had a
meditating,
Yeah.
You are meditating.
Hey, listen now. When we say catching buka, the way you do that.
Look at I'm not in the States though. I'm on the other side of the palm.
Okay, yeah. Officer
sleeping.
Haynes is on a vacation in Germany, right? You're in Germany, right?
Yes.
Hey, lady in Germany, Germany and Liberia, all of them got the same time.
No, Germany ahead of that bureau right now.
How many hours?
Yes. 1 hour, right?
30 minutes.
Yeah, but that's the same, man. I know. That's the same. I see where England looking. All of them
Very
got
cool.
the same.
You know why? You know why? It's a
hours.
good thing. I want him to have a feel of what I can go through here in the studio when I say that behind the microphone 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. They want to say, guys, we have to wrap it up. Then somebody said, no, I need just 2 more minutes. They're saying I need 2 more minutes.
So I am sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, you have, but me personally, I want to feel this thing is charisma. But she ain't coming unless you want to check for Sonny Slicker home. Imagine that.
You want me to call?
Yeah, you can call. You can call Charisma.
Let me see right now. Because but I thought you were chatting just now. I mean, you and Charisma are in the group chat, you're not chatting. Let's see your message popping on now.
Charisma said she was getting sleepy.
You can look at French.
Guys, again, I want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Looking forward to us having a great show. And then a lot of you are aware that I'm still getting
your fever too bad.
Okay, so
I don't understand why though.
It's not from Amin. Amin just muted. Wait, let me do this. Okay, so I think Amin muted already.
Mazi said you to the back. Abraham to the back.
What? Oh, the bag is flooded. So when all of you can on the other pillow, you just get 2 minutes on it.
No, I'm discussing it. I'm discussing that.
So
I can be a cheerleader. Oh my.
Sam Suarez is asking me to bring Prophet Key on. You really mean that? Prophet Key get love for the show, but he can't make it.
He can't make it. The man love the show, but he can't make it. He can't make it.
You can make it.
I'll hear you, Mama. I beg you.
You can use any kind of word on the show. Yeah, you can make it. You can make it. But Charisma, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
How you doing, guys? And the only female, I mean.
You back in Moravia?
Yeah, I got back earlier today, but I had some strong headache.
Wait, one hour looking at it open, 1 hour looking at it closed. I don't know how it's looking at it.
My eyeball open, so I can't take politics.
Listen, all the people there that are watching the show right now, all the people that are listening on the radio, they want to see Charisma sleeping face. Apart from that, that photo shoot face. Y'all want to see your real sleeping face. Y'all can watch.
Y'all put your TV on. Y'all put your... But wait. Nessie, Abraham saying at the back. That's true. All of the old link he's still using. Keep texting me.
That man on the old lingo, he on your own.
Oh my goodness. My man, you on the old link. What kind of you want? That man that you see, you want me to look up. You want me to lock off and call him.
Abraham,
I'm not discussing some of the pedo, yeah? Y'all discuss it. I'm there.
So again, I want to say welcome to everyone. Welcome, Abraham. Thanks for joining us. Ture, I want to say welcome as well, my brother. It's good to have you, and Konowa as well. Well, tonight we will basically look at the final component of the pillars, the arrest pillar. It has to do with anti-corruption. This is one aspect that a lot of people get a developing interest in, especially people who are very much concerned about the growth of any country. They want to make sure that they have an understanding of how any government is either working on anti-corruption or how that government intends to address the issue of anti-corruption. Because most of you are aware that corruption is like a pandemic. Corruption is like a cancer. I don't know whichever way I will describe it. It eats out
cancer.
It eats out any society slowly, but in no time, it undermines the very progress of that government, country, or whatever. People who are not supposed to be suffering will suffer when there is massive corruption, and a few people in the country will live, their best lives, while the majority live in an impoverished situation when there is massive corruption. So, in order to ensure that there's equitable distribution of the national cake, the issue of anti-corruption comes into the picture. And it's a good thing that it is being captured here under this arrest pillar, the sixth component. You guys have been talking about all the other aspects. Francis was here the other night, and the other guys, you talked about good governance. You spoke of different aspects and so forth. But tonight, let's look at anti-corruption and how does the Unity Party, if elected, intends to address the issue of anti-corruption. With Liberia as a country already struggling to have a very good grading or rating on the corruption perception index, a rating or grading that comes up annually from Transparency International through its local chapter in the country called Cental. How and something which has had a very negative reflection on our country over the years. How important, first of all, is this whole thing about anti-corruption? The fact that it is being captured under the rescue or the arrest pillar. How does the Unity Party intend to address that to ensure that this fight against or this fight towards anti-corruption is achieved to a point where the least men down there get to feel an impact of the national cake or get to enjoy his own piece of the national cake? I want us to kickstart the conversation tonight with Francis. And then since in fact Francis was the first person to get on set, he was backstage. And then we can now start to go around the table. Francis, let's talk about anti-corruption. You know that even this administration, the president's second trip at the UNGA, he told world leaders that he was going to end corruption. It tells you how much concern every leader is when it comes to the fight against corruption. Now, let's talk about this. To what extent you think the Unity Party is going to address this issue? How important is it to address the issue of anti-corruption? And just kickstart the conversation from there as I try to bring up something very quick related to this.
Good evening, guys. Good morning to my folks in Liberia. But when it comes to JMB, we already know, we asked Sedition and let her talk about how he been in office for 42 years, and he not rich. And the reason for that is because he's not corrupt. He's anti-corruption. That's why all the 42 plus years he been in government, working for government, he take his salary, he go home and take care of his family. He don't take Liberian money and go buy a mansion. So that's what JMB want to do. JMB and Jeremiah Kun, because the anti-corruption, they want to, when they come in office, that's why it's important you go vote on Tuesday and vote number 1. Because when they come back, they want to reverse all the things that Jowiah and his government has done to the Liberian people in the last 6 years. And part of anti-corruption is transparency. My people, when they say transparency, everything that happened behind closed door, they will tell you the budget, what they can come out, they announce every year, and this is the budget, this is county development fund. JMB government administration will tell you what happened with all the money, how it was spent. That's why they call transparency on anti-corruption. Another thing, because I know other people can come in, so I don't want to go through everything that I wrote down while looking up anti-corruption. Another thing is not spending unnecessary or making inappropriate purchases. What I mean, my Omane, don't buy the thing that you're not supposed to buy. The thing that's supposed to buy, don't buy it. The thing that you're not supposed to build, don't build it. For example, that 4 football field, what they always like talking about, Invisible Sport Park, West Point Stadium, PHP, D12 fee, all that thing there, they tell us all that good things we are do. But that corruption there, because you know what? It's not necessary. That unnecessary expenditure, unnecessary spending, because that money they use for all that football fee that the people in River G, the people in River Cess, the people in Maryland can't even see. They sort of take that money and go buy medicine and put in the hospital for y'all. They're supposed to help in Facebook role or probably help to play one level. The thing that the people need, that's why it's not spending money on. But they spend the money on unnecessary things so you can be looking left while they're stealing from right. That corruption there. So Joe Barker said he come in there. When he spend our money, it will be for the children that are in school today. That ain't got no science lab. They ain't got no computer lab. They ain't got no library in that school, so they can't read books. The books that they're studying in today is from 20 years ago. Other students in Ghana, Nigeria, they're 20 years ahead of our science students. So Papua they coming, they won't spend all the money so the students can compete with the other students around the world. So for Papua, he will not be corrupt because we already see he been government for 42 years. He not rich. Jawia Khan says there, Samara Wolokoli then says there, the millionaire, and then we're suffering in Liberia there. So please go to the poll on.
For instance, someone listening to you now may be asking, this whole fight against corruption you're talking about. Yes, you spoke of the aspect that has to do with of budget spending, where things that are not intended to spend monies on, you make sure that you don't divert monies intended for something else to that particular purpose and so forth. But now, will you mind telling our folks out there, telling our audience how this thing is going to be achieved? I mean, to what extent is this whole anti-corruption fight or initiative going to impact the ordinary people down there?
Right. So the main thing that Papua will do that we are not even thinking about before you even do it, and the warrior in Liberia in the course war is called accountability. You see how you're calling Minister of Health, pharmacy got all the drugs, but the JFK and Redemption, they ain't got no drugs. When Papua come in, the person who put on education ministry, the person who put on finance ministry, the person who put on health ministry, when the budget come, when they send the money there, and they're supposed to take medicine to River Cess, and that medicine not go to River Cess, Papua will investigate that person. Those 4 auditors that died because they investigated Jawia government, and they want to report the count up, Papua will empower, will give plenty power to the opposition, to the auditor. So the auditor come every year and audit the defense ministry, audit the finance ministry. If there's any wrongdoing there, they will report it. Then all will know what's happening. So that way, nobody can hide anything. That's the only way this thing will be good. So accountability, that's what Papua won't bring. Joe, we're not doing it right now because all the people there that you chop, go by chop. That's what they're doing. They just chopping. So nobody can report anybody. Anybody that won't report, you disappear. But Papua, nobody will disappear. He will encourage the people that can report. The church police in the government, he will encourage the church police to report so that when anybody stealing our money, they will catch them and they will lock them up.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a whole lot.
Wait. What my brother Hans say over there, my man? That man on sleep. That get that man, tell that man go sleep. Fully, he must be told.
Hans is going to make his point. Officer Hans, it's over to you, sir. Let's hear your on this whole thing
right now.
Anti-corruption. You won't tell me Germany?
He's frozen.
Germany internet, not correct? Okay, so now
Miami internet, mega.
So let's move on to
You can see
Let's
me?
move on to
Ryan,
Karishman.
you can see me?
Okay, you there now?
You there now? You're not there.
No, my alarm went. It started
Y'all
to.
be give me your space so I can be here and go sleep.
You end the show tonight. You ending that show. You ending the show
Now,
tonight.
else I sleep, I will sleep. I want to put a catching book on the show.
You're
Okay, but let's hear from Hans, then we're gonna come to you.
Okay. If it's fine, I know Karishma says she's tired. All right, same thing, right? Same question, right? I'm just gonna elaborate, right?
Yeah. Let's hear from you. First of all, Hans, if you can tell us, Hans, where are we right now with respect to this whole thing about corruption, and why is this whole fight against anti-corruption very important? And then thirdly, how is the Unity Party government going to address that if elected?
Where are we right now? We are in a slammer, meaning we are in Liberia. We say we're in a dumper regarding corruption. We are dirt beat in corruption till you can't even define it. It's not from the president down. So what the Unity Party agenda and focus gonna be on day one, following his inauguration and his first 100 days, he's gonna focus on zero tolerance. Now, every president will say that, but I always stress the means to say that individuals who head in organizations or the president, his lieutenants, are the people who gonna make things happen. So you can give all the speech you want to give on inauguration day, but if you don't have your lieutenants, you don't have the people to work these agencies, the GAC, the LACC, and the IAA, we're gonna have problems. The first thing we see where Ambassador Boga is all fair and square, that we know that he's gonna trust and put corruption as his number one fight. The person he appointed as his campaign receiver, meaning who headed his campaign rallies. Who was that? Former General Auditing General John Molu. That tells you, it shows principles. It shows that Liberia gonna be somewhere we're gonna tackle corruption at least in the first 100 days to maybe 50, 60%. We're gonna try to let everybody, I want to believe that people will declare their access before taking office, before sitting in front of the Senate for confirmation hearings.
And the declaration of asset is by law, and that's something that should be done in the first place before taking any public office.
So, and if you don't declare your assets, you're not going to have positions. So you declare your asset. If you lie, you go into the position. You go into the position and you try to steal. Part of the plan that the ambassadors and the Unity Party government that wants to lead Liberia to prosperity is going to fast track, going to investigate, find the person found guilty or whatever, will fast track cases. You have to prosecute these cases fast so people can see progress, to be able to have trust in your ability and your government. So fast tracking these cases, and whether they're guilty or not guilty, that shows what you call clarity in your leadership. So Ambassador Boga going to focus on those issues, those things that we lacking currently in this government of President George Weah and his people. We're going to see somebody leaving the office in the next couple of days, and we have nothing to show for corruption. There is not one person 6 years being held liable for anything. Instead, we see these people actually stealing with no accountability. There is no accountability in this government, Nelson. And for somebody like you and many others, including ourselves, to be able to have a country to sustain for tomorrow, we need to have zero tolerance on corruption. And I guarantee 100% that Ambassador Boga is going to fight this along with his trusted lieutenants.
Okay, so let's hear from Karishman. Karishman, what's your take on this anti-corruption?
Hi, Nelson. Hi to our beautiful listeners, for those listening from Liberia. Liberia. I know it's pretty late. It's 10 minutes to 3 p.m., 3 a.m. out here. Uh, and those listening in the States and other part of the world, if it's in the morning, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Um, I like to stress a very important point here today that a lot of Liberians have not paid keen attention to. You know, when we talk about corruption, George Weah happens to be a definition of the word corruption. Um, I personally lived with George Weah for a couple of years, and when he played soccer, I also saw him going back to the States, coming back to Liberia, where he did not invest even a cent into Liberia, not even a fuller shot. And he did not make any development. He did not invest in even a school in Liberia. When it comes to education or medical facility of any kind, he did not. He went back America. He got broke and came back to Liberia. He could barely afford anything in Liberia, and he decided to go and run for the presidency for a couple of years. He went through that struggle, and then at the end of the day, the Liberian people saw a humble George Weah. The Liberian people saw a man who came from their let me say the poor background and thought that he could actually stand up for the common people in Liberia, remembering his roots. So we all trusted him, forgetting about the reality behind the scenes that we all saw that he did not invest in Liberia. I also lived on the Bujumbura camp at a certain time when we were almost at the World War III. Our family took us back in Ghana. We lived on the Bujumbura camp. Judge, we came there and had pleasure not to help the Liberians. He got there, he bought liquor for them, he sat there, he chilled with them, they played music. He never helped anyone to pay the rent. He never helped to have the Ghanaian government help to put the Liberian people or to give them rights in Ghana, to secure the living condition, to secure the area where we were schooling. It was tough for the Liberian out there. Liberians made it from people in the States, their families that they call back home. They call in the States that were sending them money, that were helping to clothe them, that were helping to feed them, send their kids to school. That's how some of us even had to come back to Liberia because our family could not afford at the time. And then the Liberian people trusted him. He came to power. The first thing he started doing was to make sure that he built over a 14 duplex compound at the RI area where he got the church close by the church, the Fokekon church. And then he didn't stop there. He also went and built a modding house on 9th Street. Why he could have done that when he was playing football, he made good money. So he have abused the Liberian people. That is complete corruption. When we talk about corruption, Judge Weah is the definition of corruption. So from the JMB pillows, from the vision that we have to rescue Liberia when we talk about anti-corruption, we're gonna be holding our government officials accountable, institutions accountable. So when we talk about how are you going to be doing that, so someone will say, how are you going to, what is corruption? So I will tell you that we have three main types of corruption. One happens to be bribery. Someone coming, let's say for example, the justice system. You have a case, you are innocent, someone goes there and pay the judge, and then that case go against you and you becomes guilty just because someone accepted bribe at the justice level. And then we have improper influence by public or private interest. That those are things that we're going to be making sure that these things don't happen. And then we talk about misappropriation of public funds, like the taxpayers' money. Liberians are struggling. Some of them are making $100. Some people, like when we went to the Firestone Belt, the Margibi area, the plantation, those guys that are tapping the rubber, some of them salary is $90. That's what they earn for their family. They cannot even maintain themselves and their families. That's massive corruption. What is the Liberian government doing about it now? The George Weah government doing about it now to secure the future of our people, of our kids. How do they go to school? How do they support their families, their kids? That's corruption. What are they doing in the labor side to protect our people? That's what we're going to be looking at. We're not going to be allowing Firestone to be paying our people struggling over the $70, $80, $90. No, they have to be protected from the labor angle. And we're not going to allow few top managers from the Liberia Inn to be living in an AC house, taking $10,000 salary, while the common people at the back are suffering. And they tell you that, okay, if the Firestone people are helping us, the company are helping. So this is massive corruption. These are things that we're going to make sure that we put in place. We're going to fight it. I will tell you for a fact, it's not possible to fight corruption 100%, but we are definitely going to fight corruption to the fullest when it comes to JMB government, Nelson.
Thanks a whole lot, Karishman. Thanks a lot for.
Nelson, can I ask a question?
Yeah, you want to ask a question?
No, I just want to ask her how, because I see you implementing comprehensive background check on government official. So, like, we know that they pass government, like half of the government officials who have been appointed or like say been elected have not, probably disclosed their background check. Like the government is not implementing those laws. So with JMB, like when he exceed power, and which of course we all know, when he reinforce that law or that something that he will get amended before he give you job. And
Moluba, I can tell you for a fact, Moluba, that for the legs of Samura Wolokoli, Findabondo, or a lot of the names on from this government currently, when JMB is elected, they're going to be investigated. The Liberian people money, the Liberian taxpayer money, is not just going to be money used for certain government officials to enrich themselves. That's not what this country is about. Liberia is a small country, and we must put our people first. We're definitely going to put our people first. Putting our people first is the major agenda. I'm not supporting JMB to come and be soft on past government officials that have I can say have looted the Liberian people fund money, that have looted the Liberian people resources, that have looted the Liberian people peace and security when it comes to food, security and all of that. We are not going to buy into that. We are definitely going to make sure that these people are held accountable. So if you know definitely you came to power with one house and you are living with 10 duplexes, we are going to investigate you. Those houses probably going to be used for our government houses. We still have some government institutions that they are renting. So we're going to be using those that for those houses, Josh. I hope he's going to have a very good lawyer to stand by his side when JMB is elected as president, because definitely we're going to come for him.
Thank you.
And those duplexes over there, trust me, can be used for some of our ministries.
Thank you.
So that's a good project anyway for us. Once we're going to take it back for the Liberian people.
And the church.
Thanks a lot, Karishman. Thanks for weighing in your thoughts on that. And then
so many. Let me just clear the air. So many. Anybody JMB bringing into power, like maybe representative. I mean not representative, but let's say like the ministerial position. So all of that, like JMB would do background check on it, right? There will be a background check.
Definitely, Nelson. When I was applying to become a candidate, I had to declare. Yeah.
Understand, and that's it.
Yeah, when I was sending in my application to NEC, the National Election Commission, as a candidate, there is a form that asks us to declare. So we had to declare. So I had to put my property. I had to tell them what I'm worth. So my cars I drive, the two cars I drive, one of them is over 30,000. The other one is over 15,000. My house is worth $40,000 to $60,000. I had to.
So you have to put everything there, and
I have to stick that.
That's why
so they know exactly what I'm coming with. Yep. So that is something that has to be implemented for every official that's going to be appointed, so that the public know what you are bringing to the table. You're not just going to come and take from them.
But Nancy, let me ask you a question right here. You generously like, bro.
No,
Well,
you're not
tomorrow,
asking me
when
any
nobody was
question.
get-
You're not asking me any question.
Let the discussion go on, brother.
Yeah, Mama, yeah.
My man, the discussion going on, my man. The question
but
I'm asking
honestly,
all is relevant.
honestly, Moba is a co-moderator on the show.
I'm asking a relevant question, bro. It's not a bad
kidding.
question. I'm asking, and she answer it.
You know, there's something called QE, right?
sorry. My brother, when I tell you, hey, the bucket
The QE question is when you. Anyway, let me
go on.
But Abe, you go on.
Nelson, I would like to leave you guys. I just want to send a message to my people. I think tonight, I think after tonight, we will not be able to do any awareness for the elections, right? If I'm right.
No. Let me say this. We can do awareness tomorrow night.
Okay.
As once is void of the regular campaign, you can. What ends tomorrow night is the campaign. Nobody's going to be saying vote for John Brown, vote for Peter Paul. But if it is about photo awareness, people should turn up to vote. How they should mark the ballot and peaceful conduct and everything. Yeah, a lot of those things can be talked about. So
I know, right?
So let me pass my own message quickly for just a few seconds, because it's not possible for me to do photo awareness. I'm telling the people to vote for JMB. So I would just like to do that here quickly, and then I can leave you guys. To my Liberian people listening that have voting right, that is on the soil of Liberia, that are going to be voting on Tuesday, November 14th. We want you to kind of come out and vote number one on the ballot. Nelson, if you have the ballot paper, we would love for you to put it on the screen so that people watching can see it, just in case if you have it. JMB is number one on the ballot. Our logo has a green color and a rooster in it. Once you see the logo, right after the logo is Honorable Kwakas. Next to Honorable Kwaka is Honorable Kuhn. And then a box is right there for you to cast a vote. You can vote with an X mark. You can vote with your thumbprint. You can vote with a correction mark. Please make sure that your vote is within the box. And when you are folding the paper, make sure the box that you voted in comes on the logo of the party that you are voting for, which makes your vote valid.
Thank you.
So that just in case the ink doesn't dry out, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm hearing your conversation, Raymond.
For those who's not watching, who cannot see us but is listening to us, when you put your fingerprint, for those that cannot write, you're using your finger, your thumbprint, and you place it in that box, fold the paper in the direct side, where the area you put your thumbprint is coming close with where you have the party logo, your party logo, so that your vote can be valid. Please do not give your voting card. There are people going to be out there to those centers that you're going to cast your vote. They are buying people voting cards and they are destroying them. Some of them are snapping your voting cards because they are duplicating them to send your name somewhere else for others to go and cast votes on behalf of you. So we want you to please be very cautious. Your voting card is for you and you alone. And please make sure that you vote in the interest of our country. It's number one on the ballot, JMB. Thank you very much for having me, Nelson, and good night, guys.
Thank you.
Go night.
Thanks a lot.
Go back and continue to see Yama.
Abby, go ahead. Let's hear your take on this talking point.
Yeah, Nancy, you see, that is the reason why, for me, I support Ambassador JMB. That is the reason why I support the rescue missions. Because the rescue missions come with a lot. This is a mission that's talking about corruption. Now, before George Manuel Weah could come to power, he said that the previous government before him, he saw that the government performed 80%. And you and myself know that Madame Salif, she did her best, but she needed to be audited. Madam Salif government needed to be audited because there were a lot of corruption. So that was one of the factors. Josh Menawia, we have a tape that Josh Menawia saying that I will protect the outgoing president. Now, that protection that Josh Menawia was talking about, he was talking about in protecting Madam Salif for not to be able for her entire administration for them to go through the audit process. Now, you and myself know that Ambassador JMB, I hear people saying that for the 5 year, for the something year. That is not true. So you want to tell me that the war that was fighting in Labrador, Ambassador Baka, were working? So the issue is that is not true. Ambassador JMB worked a total years is 25 years. The total years in working for the government of Labrador is 25 years. We have been observing this man. Now, Ambassador JMB, he has not just worked in one ministry. He has not just worked to one entity. He has worked to serious entity in the Labrador government. Not a day that a person can be able to come to be able to say, yes, is Ambassador JMB, he was caught in the issue of corruption. So that is the reason why, for me, and looking at the rescue missions, the rescue mission have one of the son of the soul, John Malu. If you know John Malu record, if you know his past record, the thing that they call corruptions, it will not be able to come from your mouth around him. Because this is a man that have worked for the United Nations. This is a man that our international partner. There were a lot of people that were to be auditing general. But the international community looked at him. They were able to vet him. And the moment the man came to power, the man said, Madam Salif government is 3 times more corrupt. And that is a man that is spearheading our finances today when it comes to the rescue mission. And before I land, before a minister, when you are appointed in JMB administrations, when you are appointed, know that you have to declare your assets. That one is a matter of much. How many government ministers that they have appointed today? How many of them that have declared their assets?
Now, and that's a very important point that you touched, AB. But I want us to go back a little. Let's talk about this particular component again, anti-corruption.
Mm-hmm.
How is the Unity Party going to address this issue of anti-corruption? What sort of framework? What sort of policies are there? Do you even have a roadmap, a blueprint, or something in mind that will be used to address this particular issue of anti-corruption?
That is the reason why. Ambassador JMB, when he addressing during his inaugurations, when he addressing the nations, he will turn to the outgoing administration to be able to tell them that none of them are allowed to leave this country. That none of them are allowed to leave the country until the audit is completed. That go down to the sweeper. That will be the first roadmap. That go to the sweeper. Even if you are sweeping, and you are responsible to handle certain cash, that one you are not allowed to leave the country until. So that will be one aspect of it. The other aspect of it, that all appointed officials of government, you must have to declare your assets. You must, and the reason why I love the issue of the declarations of assets is that so that the Labrador people can know what you're coming in government with. And then after a certain time, what now you have to be able to make that comparative analysis in analyzing your take-home pay along with what you are accumulated at the time that you were appointed in government at the time of your exit, so that the Labour can be able to compare and contrast. So that will be the plain blank, roadmap for our country, Liberia. I know that.
Thank you.
When it comes to corruptions, just let me learn. When it comes to corruptions, I know that corruption starts from the nucleus of the family. It has to start from the family. The reason why the corruption is just polarizing to our society today is because even our wife, it is not only government officials, but in the home as well, that you give full money to your wife and then your wife taking it, putting susu. That is corruption.
Take that corruption out of it.
Roman, you want loud laugh? You mute.
So listen. Now that whole susu thing is another aspect, but I like the fact that you took this whole anti-corruption thing just from the black and white, from the writings on the papers, from just the manifesto of the Unity Party, carrying it as far as the family, letting us to know tonight that this whole thing about corruption, it starts from the home. Now, AB, based on your own line of reasoning, you know your own analysis of things, your thoughts you've outlined here with respect to this particular component of the arrest pillow. Do you see this thing about anti-corruption as something that is achievable? Are there possibilities of this thing becoming a reality? That no, aside from it just being on the table, is it something that any government, or let's say the Unity Party government, for example, is able to achieve?
I would say yes, because look, the man that we are the man that is bearing the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Let us look at that man's track record. That man came to government. He has worked as vice president. That man remained in the house that was built during October time. That is the man in the house that he had. Apart from that, that is the reason why this man will be able to turn to the government, the outgoing administration.
Does living in the same house for X number of years, does it guarantee the fight against corruption?
Yes. Let us look at the current president. He was senator. First, he was peace ambassador. The house that he had on 9th Street, that house was tomo.
It was what?
It was tomo.
That's the one. Damage.
Now, but keep it up.
That house, I was tomo. To the extent that George Manasseh himself, he could not live there. When that man became president,
you mean North Street?
Yeah, North Street House. That man have left North Street House. He have built 41 condominium. That speaks volumes. So this is not just only George Manasseh. Even Samuel Wolokoli, even the current finance minister, the current deputy minister, even he have built a mansion.
Thank you.
So this thing here, to learn. So this thing here, we are not just only looking at the outgoing administration. They will be audited, but we'll also be looking at our appointed officials as well, for them to be able to declare the asset, so that the Larampo can know what they're coming into the government with, and so that when we dismiss them, so the Larampo can be able to be able to analyze their take-home salary and the wealth that they have. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I mean, I saw your hand up. You wanted to make a point, or you had a question before
Yeah,
moving to?
yeah. I just wanted to go over these. Because I remember you asking about blueprints, and I just wanted to go over them. Then the guys will go into depth with them. The blueprints that JMB has for correction, the RX. He got number one, strengthening the anti-corruption institutions, which I think Hans kind of named some of them. And he's also talked about implementing comprehensive background checks on government officials, which someone has already said something about that. And he also talk about ensuring accountability and transparency, and then digitalizing government services, like people like I said, what other name will go into that. And then he talked about implementing a zero tolerance policy, promoting ethical leadership and public services, engaging civil society and private sectors.
Okay.
And
So these are some of the areas. These are some of the areas. Yeah.
The last one is international.
I know it's a whole long listing.
And stolen, and I said, so they will go into that. So you asked for blueprints. I just wanted to read that out.
Okay.
Thanks for highlighting those blueprints. Okay. Now we're going to move over to Toure to have his take on this particular talking point. I see Cindy is backstage. I see Raymond and Mikey, they're all backstage. But let's hear from you, Toure. Take your 2 minutes and make a point on this. How do you think this particular component of the arrest pillar is going to be achieved? Talking about anti-corruption, is it even possible to achieve it, given that corruption starts from the very home, extending to the public space? Let's hear your take on this, Toure. And you could also start by telling us where are we right now with respect to the anti-corruption fight. And how important is this fight? Then you can tell us the possibilities of achieving this. So you have your 2 minutes uninterrupted. You can go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of our viewers here in the United States and around the world. I want to say good evening to all of the panelists as well. So Nelson, as a question, see where we at in terms of the fight against corruption.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, obviously, we have not made a single stride in that area. I mean, it does not exist because it's not intentional. This government came, they had a very deliberate intention that they were not going to fight corruption because they themselves were corrupt, and we don't have to go back to actually know that, but we can also just look at how they behave. You know, if your party chairman can go on there and say whatever fund that the president travel abroad to go solicit, when he come back, he actually takes it and he be like, it's mine. Then obviously, what do you expect from the sweeper that AB were alluding to? You know what I mean? Like, look, let me tell you, the fight against corruption is achievable. But it has to be deliberate, it has to be intentional. Anything in life, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. I said that yesterday. You know, we see this thing happening in other countries. I mean, if you're really serious about it, start firing people. You know, start imprisoning people. You know, when you put people behind bars for 15, 20 years for embezzling government funds, who will be next? You know, who will be next? These are actions that you need to take if you're really serious about fighting corruption. You know, you can't just be going with it laissez-faire because our Liberia is a small country. You know, people know each other. You know, we all grew up in the same neighborhood, all that stuff. No, that's not gonna eradicate corruption. Corruption, it has to be a robust approach. Right? Man, look, who they do know that this guy killed his own brother-in-law in Ghana, Gerald Rowland. If he can do that to your brother-in-law, you think that's something serious? it has to be it has to be taken seriously. If people have to die, people have to die. I'm sorry. But look, corruption undermines the integrity of governance. It kills institutions, right? It disrupts of foundation of children, because funds allocated to institutions, when no funds are not gotten, and when no funds are not getting there, guess what? No institution not going to work. Now we're talking about this government go around saying, oh, when they do their budget forecast and allocate budget, it's on there that money were allocated for institutions. But then if you go back to those various institutions, they tell you that money, they have not gotten money for 6-7 years. So what is that? So you're telling people, you're telling your foreign donors, the American ambassador said it. Because when U.S. government send these aids, they follow these money. They know exactly where taxpayer money are. You know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know that, or hence you know. I mean, every one of you here knows. When taxpayer money goes somewhere, you know, people want to know. These senators and representatives want to know exactly what American government doing with their taxpayer money.
So yeah, Ture. So in our case, right? Because I see one of the blueprint here, all the way down, the last one say international cooperation and student access recovery. So in our with like what you just explained to the Liberian people at large. So with all those things, the people store from the people that may put in I'm not saying investment, because the people on the radio level not understand. So you think the government, the income,
the people on the radio can understand it, man.
Not all of them, man. We're speaking about common son here, but yeah, problem. Okay, let me conclude by asking my question to my brother Ture. So you think, right, if JMB SC power, which of course we are praying for, you think he will be able to do that identical blueprint, the last one that he put, that said student access recovery?
Yeah, John Molu alluded to it.
Remember you put yourself in
John Molu alluded to that.
Man, talking to girlfriend tonight, you can't give a chance. Go ahead.
No, Mama, you don't do that, Mama. Raymond is no, do
My
that.
man, Mama,
we good?
Man, put that man in the bag, man. Put that man in the
Right.
bag.
My man,
John
look at
Molu
my brother. The man,
John
my
Molu
brother.
alluded.
Go ahead.
John Molu alluded to that very question that he just asked, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to approach this like the way we have the Interpol, right? From country to countries, right? We know some of these guys, they got their money in Ivory Coast and Ghana and places like that. So you have to follow this money. You have to go for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we talk about access recovery, right? So you have to go and get this money. It's there, right? So look, JMB is going to be very, very strict on this. Because for you to build an institutions or working institutions, it has to be void of corruption. Corruption is bad. Corruption is cancer. Corruption kills, right? So any government that is really serious, and will know how serious JMB is, how serious our next president of the republic is. We can talk about the assets, declaration of asset and all of that stuff. That's important. That's the beginning of it, right? And I know that's going to happen on our JMB. We didn't see that happening on President George Manneh Weah. That's what we've seen the Jefferson Koji of the war and all of these guys. People that could not afford to live in a 2-bedroom house. These guys ain't got a mansion everywhere because you know what? That was the precedent set by the president when he started building all the condominiums. Then what do you think? If I'm seeing the president doing this, obviously we are all inspired by our leaders, right? So if I see my mom doing something, I feel like it's cool. If I see my dad doing something, I say it's cool. Because
Thank you.
We all lean on these people to inspire us, or at least show us the way in life. So when the president is going to take a deliberate approach, right, in building these, like private homes and all of that stuff, not even 1 year into government, then what do you think the layman will do? So it has to be intentional and the proper administration. They were not really serious about it.
Thanks a lot,
I know very well arrest is in there, and the paper gonna deliver on it. Vote number one,
Thanks
vote
a lot.
GMB for president. Thank you very much.
Let's move to Alfred. We're gonna bring Cindy, Maggie, and Raymond in. Then we go to the lines. But let's go to Alfred. Alfred, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Yeah. Thank you so much, brother.
Alfred, where are we now with respect to the fight against corruption? How important is this component of the arrest payload?
Well, I'd like to begin my conversation this evening or this morning by quoting Nelson Mandela. Quote, he said this: "You can never have impact on society if you have not changed yourself." The man we call Joseph Yuma Boakai has lived an exemplary life. Let me break it down to our people. My people, Nelson Mandela once said that for you to do good thing in your society, you have to be one. You can be married, then you get a girlfriend, or you get children outside all around the place. You are not good in your society. You're not setting an example. So when it comes to the government thing here, we say, Nelson Mandela also say, you can be a good leader in your country. We're not the example for people to follow. So you're not kind of poor country and be stealing the money. Then you say you won't be a good leader. So that's why we're supporting Joseph Boakai. Now, on one of the components on Joseph Yuma Boakai anti-corruption fight is the issue of the ombudsman that we have not talked about. The office of the ombudsman is very, very important when it comes to public policy. We saw that Madam Seri struggled to establish the office of the ombudsman. George Weah King is a failure. But what we can tell you, we already have structures in place, like the LACC, like the GAC, like the IAA, and the PPCC. These are structures that are in place to help to fight corruption. And we are saying to you that when Joseph Yuma Boakai becomes president, those institutions will be funded and they will do their work independently. Now let's talk a little bit more about the ombudsman that I talk about. You know, the office of the ombudsman is very, very significant in that, you know, it promotes justice and it also promotes confidence in the governance system. Say, for example, Nelson, you get a lay shop, you running your shop. Then every day you get agents coming from the LRA, they come to intimidate you, they harass you, they take money from you. You can just go to the office of the ombudsman and lay a complaint, and your complaint will be investigated. And if those guys took money from you without the proper way, they will pay your money back.
So this whole office of the ombudsman. I'm coming. You're laying your thought. This entire thing about the office of the ombudsman. How is it going to effectively see the implementation of this anti-corruption fight?
Look, let me say this to you, my brother. The office of the ombudsman helps the president to restore confidence in public service. Like I said, I give you an example. Say, for example, you're running your stationery store. The government come to you, the government say, please give us services. Say, for example, the national legislature, you provide the national legislature with papers and everything, sanitary material and everything, you give it to them. Then the one person sitting in the president pro tempore office, they don't want to pay your money to you. The ombudsman is there to ensure fairness. Is there to ensure individual rights are protected. So, money. We have Madam Jemima Wolo-Kwali on his set, saying that she had to put her life at risk to stay in front of the president convoy before they were able to give her money for services she rendered to the government. It's not supposed to be like that. That's why the office of the ombudsman is very, 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 very critical in governance, because it will ensure that, for example, if you're working to one labor ministry and your rights are not being preserved, they fire you, for example. They fire you for no reason. The office of the ombudsman is there to ensure that your rights are protected and whatsoever that you deserve is given to you. It also helps to fight corruption. So, under Joseph Yuma Boakai, we can assure the Liberian people that the office of the ombudsman will be established, it will be funded, and it will be effective. Because that's the only way we will cross this line. My brother, over 175 years, we stay struggling because you know what? Corruption in our system has become normal. It has become like a culture. That's the reason why most people can say, when you leave government, you can say, what you get, you work 20, why the citizen can come. They tell you, say, Joe Boakai work 40 years in government, he get nothing to show. Because we have normalized corruption in our system to be a good thing. And it will take courage. It will really take courage. And individuals who love, that's why I love the acronym that Joe Boakai brought. Think Liberia, love Liberia, and we will build Liberia together. Nobody, no foreigner will build that country but us. Only us can build our country, and it will take courage among us for men to rise up to see the country beyond interest and set the pace for the next generation that coming. Look, the next generation, they are very impatient. You saw what happened to GWKC. That generation, they are very impatient. Our generation, we should say, we'll be our own to God. But the new generation, there is no such thing that be our own to God.
Thank you.
Protests will be coming. So Joseph Yuma Boakai is the alternative, and we can miss the opportunity as a people. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Ami, you want to come in? You want to make a quick point?
Yeah, I have a question, right? Because I'm just hearing about the ombudsman tonight. Well, I didn't know we had such a thing in Liberia. Is this a institution that is set up now, or that's supposed to be set up in Liberia now?
The office of the ombudsman was established, I think, in 2010. Honor Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, but she failed to appoint someone to that office, especially so because she knew her son has already wrecked no car. And she knew very well she played smart. She knew very well she was going to appoint independent professional person that was going to audit her son, and you are going to go to jail. So she refused to appoint anybody to that office. She left it like that, and her term finished.
Okay, I'm asking this question because when I went to Liberia in March, I met a lot of contractors and stuff. I know I was CDC's brothers always saying Judge Riak created a job, which I don't know where he created it, but anyways, a lot of contractors that was there, they always worked, and then they were complaining about receiving their pay. They had contract that they deal with the government, Liberians, people. And they said that what the government officials do is that they take them to do these contracts. They will let them do one layer. And then when they try to ask them for their money, they would tell them, say, oh, we'll get back to you. And then they would bring like another group to do the next layer. And all those people, they just sitting around and without paying them. So when I heard you talk about if somebody produce services, they're supposed to get paid. Yeah, they're supposed to get paid. So when you said that, I was kind of wondering if these people were there and the government treating people like this and they're not doing anything about it. That's why I was asking.
So that's why we need to kill this poor system. This poor system for over 175 years has killed our country. For those of you in radio land that don't know what a spoil system is where a political party come to power and they divide the government for loyalists and their cronies. So they steal the government money and nobody can prosecute nobody. So this is a system that we have had in Liberia over 175 years. Until we kill it, Liberia will not go anywhere. Now, to the question you ask, if the office of the ombudsman was established, it was effectively running, it's independent, you can carry your complaint to the office of the ombudsman and there will be an investigation. And once that investigation is concluded, who is running the process will make sure that you get your money and everything that it's going to be across government agency. It's not just going to be private citizen alone, across government agency. So, for example, just let me lay my talk on this one because it's very important for people to understand. For example, right, the Ministry of Health provides services to public works, and public works is supposed to make sure that they pay for that service that the Ministry of Health provided. And if they can't pay for it, it's the responsibility of the Office of the Ombudsman to ensure that efficiency in public administration is restored and is efficient for everybody. It's fair for everybody across the board, not only private citizens alone.
So okay, thank you very much, Alfred, for bringing that in. And you're right when you spoke of that office not being set up since 2010. And as we talk about the fight against corruption, especially anti-corruption being one of the components of the arrest pillars, and then you're bringing the issue of the office of the ombudsman in, someone out there who has followed closely. Now you're right, this office should have been set up. Well, up to now, the previous government did not succeed in doing that. This government equally has not done that. They aside from the office of the ombudsman, take for example, we have anti-graft institutions in the country. Those anti-graft institutions are there to equally fight with respect to the fight against corruption, play their respective roles well, like you have the LACC, the GSC, the IAA, and all of those different institutions. But in the midst of the existence of those institutions, we still have corruption at the highest. And sometimes it depends on who occupies that particular office. Yes, we know that the office of the ombudsman is supposed to be independent, based, given the kind of role that they're supposed to play. Similarly, with those anti-graft institutions, but who are those occupying those offices? And then that sort of that gives a kind of reflection. It has a reflection on what the outcomes from those different offices are. For example, the IAA, the GSC, and all of those people will do their audits, be it internal audits or all of those different kinds of audits. But the outcome of those audits report or those audit reports will speak, will be a reflection of who those people are, the motives and everything. So I think it's a whole broad thing, and this whole anti-corruption thing, there will have to be a holistic approach with respect to how whichever government approaches, engages that. There will have to be a whole, different approach to that. But let's hear from Sandy. I think you lay out your points on that, Alfred. We'll have to hear from Sandy now.
No,
Sandy,
I will not say regularly because I don't want to put me in the back.
But I get it button yet for self-regulators. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, good. Well, good evening from my end. And yeah, good morning to some of you. Nelson, a lot has been said on this topic. The issue of corruption in Liberia is a big thing. While it is true that this current government, I continue to use the word amplify, has amplified corruption all across Liberia and making it very obvious that they do not respect the Liberian people. We can tell that corruption has been a thing in Liberia for many years. Going back to governments of, in the 80s, you can go back as long as Liberia has been a country, right? But this government, shamefully, has made corruption a thing that everyone is feeling it, everyone is seeing it. So it would take serious leadership and the love for country for Mr. Boakai and his team to overcome corruption. The Honorable Ambassador Boakai himself, giving his records in government, we can tell that he will fight corruption. We can tell that he's corruption free. What we should encourage Mr. Boakai then is that the people that may come with him must also have similar goal for a better Liberia
and must come with the heart to serve their country. And that's where Mr. Bwaka will have to put his feet down. We know that given his track record with the institutions he has worked for, he have had no record of corruption. But now that he is about to manage the affairs of the entire country, it's going to be a job that he will have to fight with strong hands and strong systems. Look, I think fighting corruption in Liberia starts with, first, having a strong legal system that is independent of the executive, right? The justice system must be independent from the executive, that is not manipulated or controlled by the president or any other person within the executive. Let them do their work. And the president must also appoint committees that will look at government officials. Like I think Alfred alluded to that, what they brought into government or what they have in their private life prior to government, and what property they're going to have or build while in government. All of that must be constantly and thoroughly investigated. Corruption destroyed a country, and it destroyed generations. We fought a civil war, but I always like to say that the war that we are fighting now, the corruption war that we have in Liberia now, is far worse than what we have experienced. A lot of people go to bed hungry. A lot of young people do not have any clear indicators of what their life is going to be in the future because they don't have it now. Their parents cannot afford to send them to school. Just because of few people's hands in the cookie jar, enjoying the resources of the nation. And we're seeing evidence. People buying homes, building homes. Complete disrespect to the Liberian people. I believe it's going to be different. I trust that the Ambassador Bwaka and his team will be strong on corruption. Look, I made reference to Rwanda yesterday. I've been doing a lot of research on Rwanda because I'm traveling there soon. And it took Paul Kagame to fight corruption. I can tell you, and somebody put their head on chopping board and said, look, Rwanda is a poor country. Rwanda pay like their cook, housekeeper like $30. Rwanda people that work in offices make about $100. A poor country. They have no resources. But that person told me that corruption you will never find in this country. In the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, when a police officer pull you over and you tell them that I will give you something to let me go, they will send you to jail. That's fighting a system. That's fighting corruption. And it can be done in Liberia. Start with strong regulations, strong judiciary system. That when a police officer on the street who is trained to serve the people go and start to take money from the people, let that police officer be dealt with. When a teacher who is in a classroom is supposed to teach the student but taking money from them, let that teacher be dealt with. When a minister who is to serve the public but stealing, let that minister be dealt with. I have personal story, and I'm not going to call names, but a very close friend, I visited Liberia, and that person said, oh, my man, I go somewhere. We got in his car, and we went to a Lebelu mayor house to collect paint and other materials. And I asked, why they make giving you these things? Oh, my man, we have to do something to get his thing and register quick. Why? Why? But it's corruption in Liberia, it's in every household, unfortunately. It's everywhere.
20 seconds.
The other
20
thing I'm
seconds.
going to end on this. It's also pained me that people from the diaspora that have worked in institutions that are functioning in this country, for instance, and we have examples, tons of them in Liberia government, leave this place. It's once they land in Liberia, they change, they become corrupt. That's unfortunate. It's a shame. So to our diaspora, brothers and sisters, that if you live here, why not take what you see here to your country? It must be love for country. People always say in Liberia when it comes to government, it's our time. I like that. It's our time. But I don't like the context in which they use that phrase. They always say it's our time to steal. What can we say is our time to serve the people? And let's serve them upright. Let's serve them.
Thank you.
And let it show that Liberians enjoy their country.
Thank
you.
Thanks a lot, Cindy, for weighing in your thoughts on this. Raymond, I saw you've been busy for a while now. You can go ahead.
Thank you, very people. This topic,
Raymond,
Your audio bar.
Raymond, the audio,
There's an echo.
the audio is very, very terrible. Are you using a Bluetooth or let's say an EarPod or something? Raymond, can you unmute?
Is it better right now?
Yeah, that's the natural audio.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounded like a witchcraft freaking movie.
My AirPods battery is low, so that's why it does sometimes. Our Liberian people, my Liberian people, this topic we're discussing tonight is the most important thing we have to discuss during these elections, because it's the heart of our transformation. Liberia will never become the country we want it to be, that works for everybody, with corruption being King Kong in our country. The past government and all the government before us have been very corrupt. And all the subsequent government came and followed the same pattern. The Ellen government came and did some things, fought corruption to an extent, especially in her first term, and were able to have a waiver of the debt we had. Show the international community that we're ready and we're serious people. We made these efforts even ahead of Sierra Leone. But then in her second term, she allowed her friends. We saw nepotism where she allowed her son to manage NOCA and squander all that we had. When Joseph Boakai said we squandered some opportunities, he was admitting to these things and the corruption that took place under her watch. She took responsibility of those. And because of that, she rather turned the country over to George Manuel Weah, who she knew was going to be corrupt, more corrupt than her, to now hold her accountable for her past deeds and her friends who did those terrible things in government. Whereas Joseph Yuma Boakai, on the contrary, have been a man who have served with impeccable track record, corruption-free, stands for the people and ensure that what is his and what isn't his. That's why for 40-something years he has lived in the same house. He's not a man who wants so much. Corruption, by definition, is dishonesty and illegal deeds to amass wealth using your government powers or your government authority, putting the people at a disadvantage. And that's what this government has done so well. When George Weah came, the very first sign of corruption he showed was political patriotism, where those who supported him got to get powers or be appointed to places. The second thing he did was nepotism. All the people from the Southeast were the ones that got strategic positions. The third thing he did was cunningism, where friends of his were the ones he was giving job to, people he knew. Leaving all the intelligent minds, people who got expertise in these areas, out because they were not his friends, they did not support him politically, and they're not her relatives or they didn't come from the southeastern region. On the contrary, Joseph Yemo Boakai, who stands as a corruption-free outcome, has said he's going to serve from a government of inclusion, and every Liberian who has something meaningful will be a part of his government, the best minds. And that's how you fight corruption. The very first thing, his integrity is there. And if he could fall up with his old boss for not trying to cover up her dirty deeds, who will he cover up? This is a man who lived in Liberia and his children live in Liberia. As much as he served as vice president for 12 years, his children went to school in China, a scholarship that almost every Liberian could afford. They didn't come to school in the US. They didn't go to school in the UK and other places. And under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf-led government, those who were close to the power that be, there where they went to school. I know many friends of mine who were connected to people in authority that went to school in the UK and the US. Joseph Yemo Boakai children went to China, where the average Liberian go or went. He lives like an average Liberian, just like you. He lives in the community that you live in. His house look like your house. And that's how we can build Liberia. When we can allow the anti-graft institution, integrity institution to strive. Like my brother talked about the ombudsman, the office of the ombudsman. The office of the ombudsman is to ensure that the code of conduct is implemented. Holding government officials to the code of conduct. George Weah Akin, he stepped on it. The PPCC, where all public procurement and concession, all those contracts should go and should be here according to the laws of Liberia. When George Weah Akin, what he did, the PPCC boss, he took him out and made sure that the PPCC was non-functional. The LDCC, we know the story of the LDCC. They're supposed to hold government accountable and fight corruption. All of the reports that were generated from the LDCC, he threw the LDCC boss and he revamped the whole LDCC and even changed the authorities of the LDCC, fighting against this institution that should fight corruption. He fought them.
So now, Raymond, let's talk about this administration. Let's say the Unity Party, honor the Unity Party, as part of the anti-corruption. What is the Unity Party going to do? What should the Liberian people hold the Unity Party by? What can you tell the Liberian people that the Unity Party is going to do differently, considering that there is a component under the arrest pillow that talks about anti-corruption?
So on anti-corruption, there are a lot of things that Honorable Joseph Yemo Boakai have outlined. But let me just speak to the simple things and not just go and just repeat them word for word. The very first thing, he's not going to put anybody in power because you voted for him. That's not about it. That's because you qualify and because you have the right integrity to hold the job. Meaning you're not going to come for your belly. You're not going to, anybody Joseph Boakai appoints the government, you're willing to serve. You want to make a difference in your country. You want to improve the situation of the ordinary Liberian, and you want to transform your country from the current situation to a better situation, to become the country called Sweet Liberia. And that will mean it will not be because of political patriotism. It will not be because ACOP, you endorse Joseph Boakai, so certain people from ACOP have to get a position. It's not about that. It's not going to be because of nepotism. It's not because you're from Lofa County or you're a Kisi man or you're a Bandi man or Lama man, you get a job now. You got to be because you qualify to and you got the right attitude. You're not a criminal. The second is that he's going to ensure that people get the right salary.
Okay, so maybe you can just wrap up with that. So we take
some of my colleagues talk about petty corruption and a lot of things going on in Liberia. And one of the issues could be alluded to, when you don't pay people for their labor, they're going to find ways to pay themselves. And so curtail that, especially the police in the street. I would take tips and anything just to get that daily bread, is to ensure that people get the right salary for their services and their labor. I could go on, but you say I should stop here. So
Thanks
But
a lot.
the most
Thanks a lot.
important thing is to ensure that there's transparency and all those anti-graft institutions, integrity institutions are well functional to hold public officials liable for their missteps. That there will be ethics in government.
Yeah. So
Ethical
that's what you guys.
practices in government and zero
Mikey,
corruption so that the money can be used for the right purposes. Thank you.
Maggie, you want to go ahead? Let's hear you.
Hi everyone, people in Liberia. First of all, I want to say corruption should be public enemy number one. What I say public enemy, it should be, everybody should be, no one should encourage corruption. It should be one of the first thing that we should go against. Every well-meaning Liberians. That's why the United Nations have dedicated a particular day, December 9, for World Anti-Corruption Day. And on the they say when you have a leader, you should follow your leader example. And we see that Ambassador Joseph Yimabwaka have been a public serving man for I think I just heard 25 years, but most people say 40 years. But we can't, no one can pinpoint one corruption for all those years. So I believe the people that is coming after him should use him as an example. Like we all say, they have a saying, charity begins at home and ends abroad. So if you have a leader that is doing the right thing, have never engaged into corruption, you should follow that example. And I believe on, I was reading the about anti-corruption, and I think on December 9, we should, Liberia should set aside, JMB should set that day aside to audit all his government officials. Prior to that day, it should put in a place that every government official should be audited. From their bank account down to, we always talk about declare your assets. But when you declare your assets coming in, then after, then what?
Okay.
To audit you while you're still working. Continue auditing you while you're still working. So each year, December 9, since it's the World International Anti-Corruption Day, that day should be set aside to audit.
Okay, so Maggie, are you okay? So on this aspect, are you saying
political patronizm? What those who supported him got to get powers?
No. Someone has the TV on.
The second thing he did was nepotism.
Can we all mute?
But the ones that got strategic positions.
Can we all mute?
The third thing he did was.
Can you mute Raymond?
Raymond is mute. Mute there. I mean, was. Now we can go on.
I mean, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I just turned my something back on because you're lying on me. I didn't have any. I was muted all the time.
It was Raymond. That was
Raymond. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, wow.
You forgot
what you were saying?
No, not really. Are you saying, with respect to this particular payload, are you saying what you think the JMB administration should do or would do, or because you are talking about setting aside December 9?
No, I'm saying December 9 is international.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't even know if Liberia honor that. They should. but
Okay.
I'm it's international.
Yeah, so just for the clarity, Maggie, so what you're saying is that now you're proposing that since in fact there's December 9th set aside, for this correction thing and stuff like that, that administration, if elected, the Unity Party administration should prioritize or use that day to prioritize the fight against corruption. Just for the clarity, I want you to throw a little bit of light on that aspect, Maggie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like every year on before December the 9th, things should be in place that they should audit each government entity, and especially the head, all government official down from the bank account. Because when we say declare your access, people only declare their access when they get into public office. When they get into public office. But the government should still. That's why I think they have GSC. They're supposed to have other entity that will go after the government official and do annually auditing. That's what I'm trying to say. Annually auditing, and if you know that you're being audited, or you're about to be audited, you're gonna not do corruption. That's gonna eliminate a whole lot of stuff.
Thank you, Maggie. Thanks a whole lot. I think with that, guys, we have to go to the lines and take maybe like 5 calls.
Nelson, I just want to say just something just for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I strongly believe that we should copy a country called Rwanda model, because when you are caught in corruption in Rwanda, not only you will go to jail, but all your credential will be revoked. All your credential, if you are doctor degree holder, all your doctor degree will be stripped. When you finish serving,
in the US, yeah, it also happened right here in the US. It happened in the US. So if we start to go after government officials once they're being appointed, corruption, we're going to see the country turning around. And I think Ambassador Boyka going to do that, because it's already in his plan to do it, because I read it. It's already there that he's going to, corruption going to be like public enemy number one for him.
Okay. Yeah, folks, I want to say thank you, guys. Let's go to the lines and take a few calls now.
Okay.
And yeah, so the WhatsApp number is there. The local lines to call 0555 101075. 0555-101075. We take our first call. Hello.
Morning, Nation.
Yeah, hello. You live. Your name and where you call from?
All right. My name is Josiah Small, for me from the Quarter Peace Island.
Yeah, go ahead, Josiah Small. Let's hear you.
All right. Let me say thank you to the panelists there. I'll make a quick comment and have some questions. Like, for us, why motivated us to support Joseph Mambwaka, young people like us? We his record. In terms of services, he was a young man like us. He paid with millions of dollars. We have not seen any record proving that he even took a sin. That's what motivated some of us, and he led to the sinful place. No, the right thing has become wrong in this country. Doing the wrong thing has become right. Because the public officials do the wrong thing and make it look like the right thing. They go in public service and achieve at the detriment of people they are going to serve.
Thank you.
And give for themselves.
Thank you.
Thinking that thing.
That's what
you're delivering to the public to benefit from the public service. So that's why we are supporting Bwaka. And let me close with the quick questions. How can we differentiate Ambassador Bwaka by saying we strand some opportunity and he will part of that same institution as a government? How can we differentiate him from what he said to the listening audience? Thank you.
How can you no, come back, don't go. How can we differentiate him?
How can we exempt him from the term he used? We stand up some opportunity as a government.
Okay, so how can I'm coming now, caller. I'm coming now. How can we disassociate him from the comment he made, right? Okay, thank you. let's take this person here. Hello. Guys, I hope you can jot down the point so we have one person to respond to it. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Your name and where you call from.
Thank you very much. This is Abu from Patrick Grande.
Go ahead. Let's hear
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very much. Let me just say this. Honestly, like what we're lacking in this country. You know, who was somebody to be so honest. That's why people worry. Patrick Jesus Bagana say he's a cooling person. We are Joao Taylor, someone for Mr. Joseph.
Thank you.
We want none. Then in government, some of government will lecture our government. It makes some mistakes.
That's what you there.
And
Thank
that's
you.
what related to. So that's what the one we have. But let me go quickly to the issue. Just the panel is saying, Pastor Jesus Baka is faculty echo. This is only man. Still a brother funded will send it what to the professor. It can all everything in our office the money cow. Nobody ever done in this country, and that's why we go all about this table. We go all this yesterday on the street for my one for work. We make sure.
Thank you.
Come and tomorrow. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Hello. Let's call 055101075. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Nelson.
Yeah, good morning on the local line. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. This is Samuel Morris, former president of Babulu County Student Union. I've been actually striving to get on this number, but you know, I always follow this show up to the morning.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate. But the issue on a discussion is very
go
important.
to the issue, sir. Yeah, go to the issue.
Yes. The reason some of us are in Bapolu from district to district complaining for JMB. Let me just have you informed. Maybe there are many of our young people who are in the campaign. The reasons are serious minded men and women are supporting JNB. Number one.
Yeah, can you go to the point, sir? In line with the discussion.
The point for me, we are supporting JNB is very simple. There must be something that should be forcing people to do the right thing. What you are saying, what all of you guys are saying is right, but for me, in my own mind, is not sufficient. The economic crime code must be established. That will force people to do the right thing. You may come with a mindset to do the right thing. JNB alone, we trust his ability because of his track record. But people who will work with him,
thank you.
Those are our fears. So when the economic crime code is established, forces people to do the right thing.
Thank you, sir.
So what we are saying now is going to take effective, it's going to take its effect immediately. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will go to this line. Take this person. Hello. Hello. You're live now. Go ahead.
Yeah. My point is.
Please say your name, sir, and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Mahmoud Salif. Yeah, this is Mahmoud Salif, calling from the United States.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Mahmoud Salif.
Go ahead, sir.
We
heard that. We heard that.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my point regarding the Corruption Bureau is they have to. Into it.
No, but sir, you have the TV or whatever it is that you're using to monitor. You have it on.
Okay.
So because it's on, you responding to the thing at the same time.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
What I was trying to say is that the new government, if Joe happened to win, the economic Corruption Bureau establishment would be very vital for the country. In essence, like for instance, the lady was talking about earlier in saying that they should, let's say, every government official be audited before taking office. Yes, that is true. But also, they have to realize that once the economic, the Corruption Bureau is established, if for any reason they happen to have any information regarding any official who is involved in any form of corruption, they can instantaneously audit that person without any reservation. They don't have to have any specific time for someone to be audited. If there is any information,
thank you, sir.
Let's say, so it's something that they really have to look at if you happen to win.
Thank you, sir. Let's
take that in consideration.
Thanks a lot for your input. Let's take this person. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. Can you go ahead, sir? Hello, from the WhatsApp line. Okay, so let's go back to our local line. The person on the WhatsApp line is not ready, so we take this one. Hello. Okay, we lost that person. Let's come back here and see if we can take another person from the WhatsApp. Hello.
WhatsApp line ready, so we take this one. Hello.
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 Yes, please
Hello,
go ahead,
how you
sir.
doing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, this is Emmanuel Jesse calling from Australia.
Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, the topic in discussion is good. I think one of the problems we have in Liberia is corruption. But then Liberians have been going through a series of generational traumas, associated with corruption, deprivation, lack of opportunities, all this stuff. But if the government cannot create opportunity for the citizens, it will be hard to fight corruption. We can't fight corruption without poverty reduction. So once we will let them know the government strategy, they will use to reduce poverty to create opportunity. Fighting corruption is good, but the challenges there are enormous. Like what you put in place to empower the citizens first. And these are the cardinal point government should focus on. Or fighting corruption at this stage, it will be the same thing that we are promised if there is no mechanism to fight poverty.
Thank you.
Poverty
Thank you.
is one of the main problems fighting our killing the country.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's my contribution.
Thank you. Guys, we have to hold on the course here. And we can get two persons to respond to the questions. Yeah.
Yes, I can respond to the first one. Let me respond to the first one, and then my brother Raymond can respond to the second one. The first one, the caller asked how can we distinguish Wakai from the statement he made in 2017 when he said we squandered a lot of opportunities. Yes, we can distinguish him from the fact that he was honest to the Liberian people. That while serving as vice president, there were opportunities that was not seized, and it was misused. Some opportunities were misused. The issue of fighting corruption, he admitted. That's how you know honest leader. People who honestly admit to wrongdoing. Mr. Baga repeatedly said that in the 12 years, there were a lot of opportunities that would have been used properly, and we're not going to be where we are today. So yes, we can distinguish him from the honesty that he brings to the table. Now, whether or not you want to say whether Mr. Baga was vice president, why he never took action, the Constitution of Liberia is very clear on the role of the vice presidency. And you don't expect the vice president to usurp the role of the president while you have the president. So I think this is the opportunity that we have to give to Mr. Baga to prove himself on some of the things that he has told us about the fact that he recognized that while he was serving as vice president, there were opportunities that was squandered. And when we gave him the opportunity to be our president, our leader, which I know the Liberian people are resolved to do so, we will see what he will do. We will see what he will do. And I can tell the Liberian people, again, once more, let us seize this movement. Liberia, let us seize this movement. This is our time. Let us seize it and turn this country around. Our country, that we don't have safe drinking water. Our country too old that we don't have roads. Our country too old that employment opportunities. People have become beggars to fill government official. That you will have people that somehow going on one of Liberia renowned high school to say we feed your 3 days because they won't vote. This is the opportunity that we have to remove
Thank
these
you.
gluttonous individuals who are hanging over our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone responding to the second
Yeah,
question?
to the second one. My dear brother, you're right. Empowerment is quite essential to the upliftment of our people. But you can't empower the people when there's not the funds. We have so much. We have gold, we have diamond, we have rainforest, and we have revenues from the timber, from the iron ore, and from even the rubber that leaves the country. Liberia has enough for us to live well. But due to corruption, the enough is not seen. The people can feel it. So if you can stop those money from going in private individual pockets, you're able to do a lot more. So Joseph Boakai is not only coming to fight corruption, but everything about his presidency is for the benefits of the Liberian people. And when you stop the money from going in individual pockets, it will be available for the institutions that provide services to the Liberian people to be utilized. And that's why it's so important to fight corruption. So you're quite right, and that's what Joseph Boakai intends to do. But the two walk hand in hand. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. And I think with that we've concluded the first segment of the show successfully.
And this segment was very peaceful. Very peaceful.
I want to say thanks
Very,
to
very
everyone.
peaceful.
But guys, let me say, if I have my will, we'll not have a second segment because I'm exhausted. I've been here for about 12 hours right here.
Yeah, you need a rest. So that
I need to rest.
Yeah, good rest.
So much.
Nelson, I can
see
the fatigue in your eyes.
Other opposite view people at the back.
Yeah, I see Josh. I see Josh Wheeler at the back.
Let's close the thing and go get some rest.
It's almost 12. I see the fatigue in your eyes. You need a rest.
Amen.
You could go on and on, we're energized, but
okay. So guys, let's do this, right? Let's do this. I want each person now to take just 2 minutes.
To say your candidate.
And just say your candidate, and then we'll be out. Since we have George.
Thank you.
And guys, let's leave within the 2 minutes, please. If we do just 2 minutes, that'll be okay. And then we can be out.
You gotta get baby shower to go on to next year, so I'm happy.
I can do my 2 minutes and be out.
Yeah, so
just come in. Let's be kind to the stranger.
Yeah, let me start first.
Okay, so let's do the queue. Let's do the queue.
3 minutes for transparency, please. Don't feel that.
Oh, but listen, let me see something. You have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 units.
Yeah, man.
But I won't get a 3 minutes for.
Why not what they call democracy, Nelson? Nobody voted for him to bring a friend.
You guys will have to deal with me.
What Vasco?
Maybe Vasco will come.
Well, Vasco can't get me.
Nelson, you need to stop doing this.
It's
not a problem.
Nelson, this is democracy, right? It's all about election.
Okay, so let's do the 2 minutes each. Let me start with you, Francis.
Yeah.
George, are you there?
People,
No.
I'm tired.
You didn't see anything.
I can start now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm setting the timer. You can go ahead now. Start.
Nelson want catch Buka.
Yeah, me go sleep. My Liberian people, this is a very crucial time. This is injury time in the game. Like, you know, Joey play football. All of football period. Joey play football. Injury time. That's time we want to see him score. But he can't score anymore. So to all my papa then, please go for Joseph Boakai.
Hearing your call, so please mute the microphone. Let's all mute.
Please go and vote for Joseph Boakai because somebody's supposed to be retired by now and just living your life, but you ain't got no money and you own that, so you can't do a lot of the work that will come. And we're not bringing those jobs. So your children that are in school right now, and all my brothers and sisters that are in high school and college, please vote wise. don't vote rice. Because the 3 come around and they're giving you this election time, that 6 years of your life they will see. And that 6 years will put you back 20 years. So it's very crucial that you go to the ballot box on Tuesday, wake up early, go there and vote. So that way we can have Joseph Boakai coming with a new government and help him turn this thing around. Because the direction the country is going in is not good. Students, your school are breaking down. I was in Liberia last January. I went to SDA High School on Cap Johnson Road. I went to the library, the ceiling all hanging down. We had elementary school in our building from elementary to 12th grade. No elementary school there when I was there in January because I went there. I don't know if things have changed. Education is the bedrock of our economy. The future doctors and lawyers, if you are studying from 20-year-old book, I don't want you to represent me in my case. Because the science is evolving. I don't want doctors that are studying from 30-year-old book to take care of me.
Thank you.
Because I don't want Jimmy coming for if I get sick, you can get paracetamol. So please, go to the poll on Tuesday. This is no joke. And vote number 1 for a better and successful future.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Francis.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That's what you did. And AB, you want to go? Take your 2 minutes. You are muted, AB. You want to unmute? Yeah.
Fellow Liberians, we have come to the crucial time. This is a time that you all have been waiting for. This is a time that you have been patiently waiting for you to defeat this Buka dancer, for you to be able to defeat this criminal, for you to be able to defeat this role. You all can bear us witness that George Manawia administration have carried on 10 years back. They have not just carried on 6 years back, it have taken us 10 years back. This is a government who came into power, who refused to audit. But yet they said that, yeah, the government never did nothing. Yeah, it's the same government. When someone was raped in New York, to the Liberian embassy, Mazwai Kimia did that. They later lodged a complaint. Now, because the deputy minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Famula, because he intervened in that case, they have now sacked the guy. This is to tell you that this is the same man who has signed homosexual activities. This is the same guy. I call him God because he is not man enough. So we are asking you, please go to the ballot box, vote number 1. Vote the man. Don't vote the woman and man. No.
Thank
vote
you.
The man. Don't vote the woman and man.
But that's not kidding.
You know, they were the man saying the thing.
But the man give homosexuality.
Yeah.
But you want to put a woman, man. Let's go ahead, my brother.
So I am asking all of my people.
Just a vote JMB and JKK.
I am asking all of my people. No, when you say vote JKK, people may not understand it. Vote the 2 men. Don't vote the man and woman. Thank you.
But
But listen, with all of what
All
you guys are
institution better
doing,
get one
with
one
all of what you
basket.
guys, with all of what you guys are doing, I'm getting information from the comment section that Vasco contributed 1,000 to the UP campaign
You left.
rally that was going
You really
on.
letting you.
You
I
better
say
left Vasco.
after that, I won't be the last. Vasco and Josh.
So Josh, you mean Vasco is not treating you right on the show? You and Vasco come here, you preach all the messages against the United Party. Vasco goes in the corner and donate 1,000 to UP.
Not
Vasco come
only
in.
Vasco,
Vasco
not only
here now.
Vasco,
You see?
not only
No, wait, Vasco. Why did you donate 1,000 to UP rally? Why did you do that to George and the CDC? Why?
You are
not
muted.
only
He
Vasco.
meant to do it. The man meant to mute himself so that the thing he's saying we can hear it. No, Vasco. Why were you decided?
Don't be that Jerry Gibson, you.
I pledge now. You know we gotta take out a Boaka.
That retirement fund, we ready.
No, but man, I said too. But then I free more right making for you. The thing you say
I pay point.
Nancy, you have been talking about corruption.
But how you go press on
How
the
can a
people,
whole
man?
political party be generating money or
No. Vasco,
Then
forget
you
that
tell-
one.
you tell
Man, why you
everything
go
put in
pledge
Jesus
for
Boaka?
now? You pay people money.
That's the only reason why I'll pledge. I pledge myself and I'll give it.
You give it when you on record when you give it.
After
election.
No, I gotta give him because me I know after election I'll be serious problem. So what election result can do to Boaka? Get the money before.
I mean, I beg you, yeah.
Thank
Vasco that
you.
going to Vasco that going to see there will say $1,000 and send it to you.
Only 2 minutes.
Vasco,
What is
we hit 2 jobs, you will
Yes,
take
yes.
$1,000 and send it to who? The man waiting for money to come from Liberia for him.
Can I say something to Vasco Nelson, please?
No, okay, yeah, just take your 2 minutes and do everything you want.
No. I said I want to
Just
say
shoot your
something to
shot.
Vasco.
Okay, but he ready to shoot
I just
your
want
shot.
to appreciate Vasco for being so kind of done. Wait, Mama, I want to come.
La skin. You what do you want to appreciate la skin? First of all, look at money go pay for Joseph Boaka. What kind of equal?
Okay, so Alfred, please go. Alfred, take your 2 minutes.
I just want to appreciate Vasco for doing that for JMB. Mama, let me talk.
The show is not going well.
Mama, you wait at the cassette. That cassette, they gotta look at that cassette. They Africa, hey, to, yeah, leave to.
It sure is noisy when everyone else talking over each other.
Go ahead,
I want to appreciate Vasco for donating 1,000 to take it at JMB. At least JMB is not stealing it from the Liberian people. So thank you, Vasco.
Alfred, please go ahead. Take your 2 minutes.
Alfred.
Thank you so much, the Spoon family. Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for your tireless effort for being on this show here for the last 3 months to allow us to propagate the message of Joseph Numa Boakai and the Liberian people. I have consciously made a decision to support Joseph Boakai, number one, because I believe that this man is a humble man. I believe that this man is an honest man. I believe that this man loves Liberia. That is a reason why over the last 25 years of work, of service to country, there is not 1 ounce of corruption that you can find on him. Look at the man. An honest man breed honest children. Look at his children. He's not one of those persons in the country what they did, their children were like that. They can make mention of Chucky Taylor. So that's why we are saying to our Liberian people, come Tuesday, go to the ballot box and vote Joseph Numa Boakai. You know, this thing is not about Joseph Numa Boakai. It is about the future and soul of Liberia. My people, the young people, those of you who did not experience war, we come on a show to tell you that our upbringing were taken away from us by useless conflict. And we don't so those of you that did not experience any war, we ask you, join this stream to vote for quality education, good health, security, accountability, and above all, employment opportunities where you can become independent. You don't have to go stand to summer 12 when you take your fee for 3 days. You don't have to go to Jowia Hall and things you pay you back, but you can be independent and raise your family. Nobody, you don't have to depend on somebody to pay wire fee. You can pay a wire fee. Thank you so much.
Let's take Vasco.
Make me spoil the whole topic.
Thank you, Nelson.
Vasco is selling his candidate. Vasco, at this point, we are affording the time to everyone to sell their candidates for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I will sell my candidate, but let me just throw a little point on the discussion that you guys had. I mean, I've been sitting watching you guys, and I'm completely,
2 minutes.
I'm surprised to see almost like 8 persons representing the Unity Party. Nobody can say anything from their manifesto how they're going to or tackle corruption. This is sad. But let me just tell you today, my people, the Liberian people, they Unity Party. They Unity Party. Let me tell you, 2017, there was a report from the perception survey by Transparent International.
You mean Transparency International?
Transparency International.
Okay.
The people government was ranked 122 out of 180 worldwide. When it comes
Do you
to
have that
corruption.
document, please?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
I can ask.
You
No.
can-
Do you have that document?
So,
Man, when you say Joe, we had a rule, you can produce
the only
documents.
government that I know of that is trying to reduce corruption, because let me tell you, corruption can never be eradicated. We just reduce it or minimize it. But the only government are trying to do it is the George Weah government, because the George Weah government has just given the LACC prosecutorial power, which means LACC now they can carry on their investigation, they can arrest you, they can investigate cases, corruption cases. But the United Party government, the 12 years, you can steal the whole something cell. The LACC was that there, a toothless bulldog. They couldn't do nothing. That's why you saw Amara Konen was 10 million. Today you saw Joseph Baga build houses for almost half of the women in the United Party. That one man today is so poor. So my people, what we have to tell you guys here, you already got the best government in power. On the 14th, go there and vote for number 2. Georgia already started a lot of work. The works are in progress. That gave you another 6 years so you can complete. Do not vote for somebody. They may have even getting power yet, but they organizing or fundraiser. They organizing fundraiser, and the fundraiser is in the vice president, not in the party. This is a form of corruption.
Thank you. That's what you did.
Leaders should not behave that way. You have a political
Thank
party
you.
that want to lead the country. Why the fundraising cannot be in the party anymore, but be in an individual need, which is the vice president. That is
Thank you.
corrupt. Thank you.
Let's take
Right now we're having election in America. The people raising money for Donald Trump. In Donald Trump's name, you're not in Republican
let's take Cindy.
We're talking about
Guys, please stop the interruption. Let's take Cindy. Go ahead, Cindy.
I'll do my closing later.
Oh, my Liberian people, for the past several months, we've been telling you that George Weah is not good for you for many good reasons. On Tuesday, you have the job, all of us. Let us get up early, go to the pool there and vote Joseph Yume Boakai. Let's vote Mr. Boakai for better leadership. Let's vote Mr. Boakai because our country deserves better. Let's vote Mr. Boakai because George Weah failed us. Let's vote Mr. Bwaka because the country is very hard. If we put Joe we are there again, it will be more than it is right now. So as you go into bed tonight hungry, your children don't have school fees. Husband can who now with candy or cup of rice. Mama can who one time because market not selling. That's why you need to vote Mr. Bwaka. Take Joe we are from there. We all like Joe we are, but they may not able to job. That's why we say you must vote Mr. Bwaka, the man who know how to do the job. So that your country, our country Liberia, can be better for all of us. I will end up in crying. I bring you. Joe we are Ojiga Ara Juru Ebre we are poor balai. You want yeah. And when you need my sorrow, you are bring we do our blind line, which gets your name. Joe we are Jigga or men ma. We saw in our right gets what told me a malo, do flower, below your bed ma. And we started October. And the December, day of way, December, Jirania, day of way. Joe we are my boy clean. I say in your more so grand or more so low foul or more so Maryland, let's see every day I say with you. No or bell or adbo and knowing with that bit of blue and we are dealing when we are clever, we are there with you, or when you're or more poor. When we are bad money. You or what Joseph Human Bwaka, okay, Jeremiah Bankunke and the boy what men know. What men where we are, you know, where school fee blame? What men know when we ponjad bone when we pay and we get. They are at Yomodui. Tuesday, Mama for one moment. Mopo Joseph Human Bwaka. Your we are mass, so the boy said there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
thanks a lot.
So Maggie, your phone clock will not working anymore, eh?
No.
When Vasco was talking, you were putting it up. When Vasco was talking, you were putting it up.
Guys.
Corruption red there.
Guys, we have to go.
The man got it exact 2 minutes.
That's not true.
I look at the time.
No, it was 2 minutes.
Let's hear you, Maggie. Maggie, go. Let's hear you, Maggie. Go.
No, I want to after Josh.
My man, let me go here. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
take
thank
your
you.
2 minutes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really speaking to you guys here because most of you here, your minds are already made up. But I'm going to speak
Don't
to
tell
those
me
people
about
who are
take me.
still on the
Don't
fence.
tell me about take me to net.
All those people on the fence, those are the ones I'm talking to. Those people who have not yet decided what they're going to vote, who they're going to vote for on Tuesday. These are the people I'm talking to now. So, Liberian people, let me tell you, everyone on this particular platform, they are talking about GMB being the most honest person in the whole world. But guess what? When this government came to being, when George Weah went to visit him to his house and took a present to him and asked him, who do you want me to employ from your party to work in my government? You know who he sent? He sent his children. He did not say any government official. He didn't say any party official. He sent his children to go and work in this government. His children, as we speak, are working in this government. They're getting paid in this government. But these people will not tell you because George Weah is a good man. George Weah is a man who can reconcile this country and make sure that everyone has a place in this Liberia. And because of him, we now have a country that is becoming more unified. Like you see, even if you cause George Weah, he still invites you to the table to eat with him. Anything you do, because he knows that we are all the same. But if you do it at GMB now, these people that are here, even my brother Abraham here, he will start to threaten your life because they are intolerant. These people will never accept that they lost anything. They will always want to gain. And George Weah is the only guy who wants to make sure that Liberia is unified and the development. And trust me, we all know that people are hungry. Hunger has been all over the world. Even here in Australia, people are hungry. People lying in the street. People beg me for money. Why people beg me for money when I walk past them? We understand that. But guess what? We are not saying that people should be hungry in Liberia. No. But we know that wherever people are, there will be hunger. But that does not excuse the fact that George Weah is doing an incredible job and he's making sure that this country will be developed. And for me to end, I'm a Loma, but I can speak global. So let me speak global to you. Abiona, voting George Weah. George Weah or me, Liberia among Kanwo at the voting George Weah. I wouldn't know. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Whether that the real Gribble or the Moravia Gribble,
We
whether
get
that the
up
real
a
Gribble or like Moravia Gribble,
Lala
no, she didn't
Gribble.
understand it, so we take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Lala Gribble.
Again, I want to say thank you, Josh.
Let me go ahead. Yeah.
Let me tell my man, Mr. The main group too. Agbabulu.
Babulu. No, Gribble. Let me go ahead. Yeah.
Saying you're going
My
ahead,
Liberian people, let me put it
I
down.
don't want to keep your time.
Yeah.
You're not keeping my time.
No, keeping
I
your
started my clock. If you stop me, I'm gonna start all over.
No,
My
but
Liberian
I'm the timekeeper. Yeah, I'm keeping the time. The man doing is a provisional time, and they get provisional result on official result.
Anyway, my Liberian people, this is serious matter. On November 14, there is only one choice, which is JMB number one. Like you heard CEO saying today, we got the likes of Vasco and the likes of Josh on this platform, but then the same people will be praying for Spoon to close down the immediate if Josh we are win this election. But they on this platform today and they preaching about Josh Weah. You heard Senator Witherspoon today talking that y'all should go out and vote. Spoon is the only independent station you have to bring your good news, to bring you the real thing, because the ones that are in there, corruption are taking over. Then the same corruption we're talking about today, corruption are taking over. Then Joe, we are finished buying all of them in Joe, we are packing. The Joe, we are finished cooking pan butter with them. Guess me, all of them, they in one packet. So the only Spoon we depending on. We are in America, in the same Australia that Josh in America that Vasco having 2 jobs. There's the only platform we have. November 14. It's the only one. All the other one are sinking sand. Only one. There, every other one you see behind that, they are sinking. It's nothing. Like I said, we should start to count. You learning how to count on one. O-N-E-1. Don't mind Vasco. Don't mind Josh.
Thank you. Thanks a whole lot.
Whatever, Josh. Bye.
Thanks. So then we will take Raymond. Raymond, go.
I forget to tell you tell me. You and Vasco.
Our Liberian people, we want to thank you for showing up today in your numbers. You have shown to us who now in the country who don't have a voting card to vote that the direction the country is going, that you are taking the country is the right direction. And I also want to take this same time to apologize to you for the lies that you just heard. You know, our brother there from on the demonic tree, they call the Sycamore tree, which should now never be called the Sycamore tree, because the Sycamore tree is a place for transformation for good. But the demonic tree is from good to occult. Joseph Yima Boakai children work in government during Ellen time. And the positions they held, the president can appoint you to the position. So that vla mean la. And the truth of the matter is, when people raise money, they raise money for a good person and for a good cause. So when we raise money here, that's because Joseph Yima Boakai was in government. When he was leaving government, the money that he had in the office, he left it there for Joel Howard Taylor. He didn't take it for himself. That's a good man. Thank you. Thank you for choosing a good man. And when you go to vote, please vote number 1. Vote number 1 and nothing else. Anything else is not good for the country. And these are things to consider when you vote. Please, my people, carry your pin from your house. We are hearing things in the air. And the people call CDC, You can't trust them. They don't play fair. They know they can't win the elections. The only thing they want to do is to cheat. We are told and we are hearing that the pins and the ink pads that you're going to meet at those voting places, they're being played with. That when they put them on the papers, they will vanish. So we want to urge all our pool washers, please carry pins that got permanent marker on them and give it to our people. Please take pins from your homes. The old people who will use the Tompa, Unity Party and the Rescue Mission, please give it to our pool washers. Let them take it. That when people come and they request it, they can give it to them to use it. Because we don't trust what they got. The first round of numbers they had, now Vlad, we saw what Akara's grade did. He passed around, said he was winning. So cheating. While our eyes are open, kolo, we only are back. The JMB team brought a Ghanaian person to train, to use a special software that he built in Ghana to be able to send data without being hacked. When the main came, election should be about transparency. It should be about equal participation. They use the government office, the government power to suppress the other people's freedom to participate in the government. This is a form of corruption, and they need to answer in the court of law. When they start taking former Chief Justice, putting her in court and in jail without a due process, this is a form of corruption. Liberia have never been this worse under these corrupt individuals. It's time that we get angry enough and let our vote count. Get them out and let them answer in the court of law and let them pay for all their corruption and the crimes they've committed against you peaceful people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dre, is that you?
Yeah, can everybody mute, please? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the question is, are you better off now than you were 6 years ago? And that question is true. Obviously, nobody have to tell you what to do. But if that question is obviously false, knowing everything that we know, then you know very well who to vote for. I urge you to vote for number one, vote for JMB. This is bigger than any one of us. It's bigger than seditions. It's bigger than George. It's bigger than Vasco. This is about the soul of a nation. This is about the sanity of a nation. This is about the reputation, the past glory of a nation that was once the shining star of Africa. We can get Liberia back to that point. We can get Liberia back on that stage. When global crises were happening, like what we have right now internationally, Liberia were a country that people used to count on. We can get to that point. Like D2 saying in his song, and I do it before, and I can do it again. Yes, we have done it before, and we can do it again. We can do it again without President George Weah we are though. We can do it again without the Kush president. We can do it again without an inept president. We can do it again with the worst without the worst president in history of Liberia since 1847. Make no mistake. The passion that each and every one of us share every night to take time to come and sit on this platform and tell our people what to do. Take times away from our family, our children, to come on this platform. Nelson going sleepless night, even though he's the host. But that's a sacrifice that, posterity will actually handle him very, very well. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not a hate. I love Vasco, I love George. But maybe George didn't have some kind of personal interest in President George Weah or known to any one of us. But if we should look at the bigger picture and look at our country and think that everything is okay, that George Weah deserves another 6 years, my brother, my sister, you are wicked. My brother, my sister, you are wicked. And I'm not saying this I'm saying it with the strongest term, with all seriousness. You are wicked. You are absolutely wicked. If he can think with the condition, with the way Samuel talks, talking about how the court carry Henry Costa like a booger. That is a joke in a serious situation. Children are dying. Children are going without basic foundation. And we're talking about this is some trivial stuff. This is serious business, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what some of you have done with your patriotic cards, but I'm pretty sure you guys should start walking around with it. Because if you actually have it, then it should sound to you that this country needs to be rescued. And Honorable Jason Newman Boakai will do it. He will do it bigly because the weapon that comes for CDC, it will be unprecedented. Thank you very much. Vote number one, vote GMB. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a whole lot. Josh, I mean, how you said you're on the time? No, you started that time before the man.
I'm a fair guy. Julian, I'm a man. I was not cheating out of time. But he went 3 minutes. Yeah, he went 3 minutes.
So let's take Ami wrap up now. Moba said he's not wrapping up, so Ami just wrap up.
No, I gotta wrap up. I gotta respond to that.
Ami, just 2 minutes. Ami, let's hear you quickly. We have to go. Ami, you are muted.
2 minutes.
Yeah, Ami, 2 minutes.
Like everybody, 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, everyone.
The 2 minutes that everybody had. Okay. So my Liberian people, this is it. We have sat here and talk all we can talk, right? And our people from the other side have sat here and told you the opposite of what you're experiencing. My brother Legend said that there's an NBA player who has been playing for 11 years, not as a starter, on the bench in the NBA here. And guess what he did in his country, in the Congo? He built a hospital, not even as a starter. He doesn't make much. He built a hospital. George Weah was the black diamond of Africa on the field. From world best, Africa best, European best, all the best, you name it. But he didn't even build a kitchen for the Liberian people. Instead, he went to refugee camps to have fun. Not to carry blankets, not to carry medication, none. Just to have fun, to hang out. Okay? And we still love him. Liberian people love him so much, they took our country. Because his beginning, he had a humble beginning. He might be the one to do something for the poor people. But George Weah came, what did he do? Just him and few of his friends. They enriched themselves. Things that George Weah never did for himself when he was playing football, when he was making millions of dollars. That's what he's doing for himself now. He had made more money in his life than Joe Boakai ever made. And Joe Boakai had a decent house than he does. He became president before he broke his house down and built 42 over it. And then he got houses all over the world. People want to sit here and tell you he's such a peaceful man. He's so tolerant. But guess what he's doing to the political opponent? Everywhere in the country, he's chasing them, him and his thugs, attacking them, stopping them from running campaign. The police don't even have cars to patrol to protect you at night. But guess what? George Weah brought 150 pickup trucks and motorbikes in the country.
From your
country money to run campaign. From your country money.
The time is over.
Okay? But he can't even helicopter. He can go this.
Thank you, Ami.
Cannot
Thank
travel.
you, Ami.
But he bringing helicopter. Nelson Maton was interrupted. Don't do that to me.
Vote number two. Vote number two.
George is not
Vote number two.
You did your closing without
Hey,
talking
Josh,
about
chill out, man. Josh.
let's have Ami to conclude.
Stop being rude.
Man, just chill, man. Chill.
He's
Josh,
not.
chill out, bro.
Please respect our lady in the house. Please respect our lady in the
Guys,
house.
please, guys. Let's have
Let
Ami
Nancy
to
handle it,
conclude.
bro.
Ami, please conclude.
Like I was saying before, I got rudely interrupted. You in your hospital, people say
You
he
went
talk
above
about
your
he
time.
built
That's
more
why I had to
hospital.
stop.
He does
No,
that. He
no,
does that.
Josh, stop that, Josh.
So you know how many minutes? You know how many times you go over your time?
Mobile, let's
Yeah,
not
go
do
ahead.
this.
Yeah.
So my 2
I
minutes
mean,
starts.
you have 20 seconds to
So
conclude.
I was saying, my 2 minutes starts.
You have 20 seconds to conclude. We have to go.
that
We're out of
he
time.
built so
We're out of
much
time.
hospital.
We have to go.
That's what you're talking in my time too. I haven't
Yeah,
said
we have
anything
to
yet. Yeah, but you had to allow me to talk. You allow people to interrupt me. And you said we have to go.
Yeah, but
I
you almost concluded your time before.
No, I did not.
before the-
People were talking in my
Okay,
time. How will
let's
you tell
give
me
you
if
30
I
seconds.
concluded or
Let's
not?
give you 30 seconds to conclude.
Okay, thank you. So to conclude, like I was saying, he got people studying here talking about he built hospital here and there, do that. But today, Ambassador John Bolton said something on Spoon Talk that in the Southeast, patients have to buy their own fuel to put it in a generator in order for them to be seen. If that is not a shame, I don't know what is. You've seen it all. The pack that is in Monrovia is not doing anything for you in the Southeast. It's not doing anything for you in Lofa. It's not doing anything for you in Grand Bassa. November 14th, go to the polls and vote Ambassador Joseph Yuma Bwaga #1 for a responsible government, for good health care, for roads, for education, and let our country stop being a fun in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Moba, I think you can just take 20
1
seconds.
minute. Yeah. First of all, let me introduce my web bill.
20 seconds, Moba.
Today, CEO introduced Black Bear. Let me introduce web bill.
My man, don't waste our time. I'll pick you back. You got to.
I will train you.
I'll see you at me.
I mean, we'll have to go. Let me say
I'm broker. You got your training from.
Yeah,
Broker.
Yeah, eating
I got web bill to beat George and Vasco.
You getting exercise.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Nelson.
Let me learn, man. Let me. Yeah.
Nancy, have you seen the cover page of the Daily Observer tonight?
No, I have to check.
Okay, you see it there. From Africa.
Everybody Molu and Jefferson Koshi. Is that it? No, I saw it.
Okay, let me conclude. I'm in America. Let me conclude. Channel guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My Liberian people are talking to y'all. Y'all please go on the 14th. Vote JMB.
Thank you.
Well, I already said it. And my partner said it all. We want George Weah. George Weah fail us. We all know. Everybody get horses. All the people that are working in the government from the people who include George Weah kitchen. All that get the millions. So we want them. We want people that will bring transparency, accountability, so our people can live a better life. Next time I even told you, they're telling me thank you.
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
We have to go. I want to say thank you. Thanks to you, Ture.
The way my brother can treat me on this show, so now I can be like,
number one, international community will not come and do it for you.
I accept it. We are
buying radio, kill people, do everything more.
We have to go.
Can I help you?
I want to say thanks to all of you here. Cindy, thanks for being here.
Number one.
Already. Ture, thank you.
Don't vote number two.
I want to say thanks for being here. Josh, thanks. Maggie, thanks for being here. Alfred, we want to appreciate you. Our brother AB, the man who comes on the show every time with a dark shades. Behind every dark shades, there's a bad eye. Let me say thanks a lot to you, AB.
My man, I can't go and shout out to now.
Thanks to you, Ami.
Are we coming on tomorrow?
So to read, that headline you are talking about?
Are we coming on tomorrow?
That headline I'm talking about.
When they say you raise falling down, that means you don't fall down.
That is something we'll confirm. But whatever the case is, Communicate with that. Communicate that in the
web,
you got number one, you are law.
Number one.
Against the paradise.
I would like a neck.
Boy number one. Number one. Don't tell me about. Let me be the last today. Let me be the last today.
Two are invalid vote. Don't vote for two. Number two are invalid vote. Number one. Vote number one. Number two are invalid.
Number two is not invalid vote. Let me
My
tell
man,
you.
don't
get that kind of information on radio.
I mean, more than that.
Look at you. You can't even go to your cross on your knee. What you do cross on your knee? You can't go there. What are you all drinking?
Let me sing one song for the garden before I go, my man. I love you, Lord.
Look at
your goodness is forever. All my days, I've been held in your hand.
Responsible government. Number one for roads. Number one for good healthcare.
Thank you, Ami. Thank you. Folks, we want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. George will end his on tomorrow. But thanks to you guys. We appreciate you. You can join us tomorrow for another edition of the program, The Late Night Show. I'm Nelson Colette, and thanks to the entire team for being here tonight. We'll be here hopefully tomorrow. Until then, have yourselves a good night, and bye-bye for now.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, Stanton with the spoon, and your boy, Friday the Southern Band, George James.